Hello, my beautiful Aquarians. Welcome into your mid-April 2024 money and career tarot reading. I hope you're doing well out there. I decided to pre-pull an overall energy for the remainder of your month, of course, for your money and career. And you got the Nine of Pentacles shining through in a very independent way. It's a time of increases, it's a time of gaining and being rewarded for your hard work from the past and more so currently. But I feel like things are starting to take off for you as far as your income, as far as cleaning things up, as far as progression goes. And I want to say this as well, a highlight for some drawn to the reading on you still having an independent, unique vibe about you in the way you approach and accomplish, even within a situation that, say, is micromanaged or managed a little bit too much. Feels somewhat, if not fully restricting, very much a job kind of vibe coming through. But I do want to say there are a lot of entrepreneur Aquarians drawn to the reading where this is shining bright in regards to that, where you are reaching for the hope in regards to pushing forward and helping other people do so as well. But I do sense that you are either way doing things your way, or at least taking what you're meant to do for those employed within a company or from somebody else and putting your own Aquarian twist on things, right? Adjusting it to your liking, and don't be surprised, and people will be surprised otherwise, but don't be surprised if this works out more so to your advantage when it comes to the outcome, the final product or final accomplishment, right? A job well done is what I'm hearing, okay? Now, when it comes to the money flowing in, I feel like some of which onto the reading need to recognize that you have manifested this, okay? Even if it's within a continuing situation, it could be a new one or both. But I do sense that you're one hardworking soul being drawn to this reading, and the remainder of April is absolutely showing that to people. But just because you're not overly energetic at certain points, for one if not multiple reasons, just because you're not forcing it, kind of like Taurus's reading, doesn't mean you're not hardworking. And this will actually be within the awareness of other people. But I wouldn't be surprised if you're also thinking about, regardless of how much, who and what you like about that work situation, that living situation. It does feel like a time where you're at least putting effort towards within the mental department, right? Thinking about, mulling over, maybe remembering. Could be external effort as well to acquire a new housing situation and or a new job situation. Maybe expansion for your business or how to get one started and off the ground or more so. But the Queen of Swords speaks upon removal. I feel like there's a confidence about you is kind of what I'm getting if we pair this with the Nine of Pentacles in a very independent way once again. But I do sense that you are not forcing it, as we had spoken upon and mentioned before. There's a sense of you having this knowledge and experience that's easily put to use in your own individual way. And I do sense that as well, this is speaking upon what needs to be released and cut out. Are you spending too much? Have you been? Have you been associating yourself with the wrong people, places, and situations? Regardless of how that looks for you, it feels like a continued process of you needing to just, they're saying use discernment, apply your strength in that manner, and just make the adjustments when need be, or just remove something altogether. Now, if you have one if not multiple people at work and or at home, or when you're running your business who just are unhealthy in energy or you just don't like them, it doesn't feel like they're a big part of the remainder of the month for you, but it does feel like you have to just cope with it, okay? So naturally, with that said, I feel like other factors of your money and career situations and life in general will take a highlight as far as how you know best at this point, and maybe gaining awareness and how to do so even better of how to cope with who and whatever that ends up being for you. Does that make sense? Because I feel like there's a reminder, nothing's perfect, right? And I don't see you wanting perfection per se, maybe in certain small ways. Maybe other people want perfection in one if not multiple ways if you're managed or wrapped up with them work-wise. Or maybe they're customer or clientele, interesting. But I do feel like you are needing to remember that the imperfections are a beautiful thing within your life as a whole. But again, speaking upon money and career, all right? Now, I do feel like as well, you're very efficiently manifesting a specific new opportunity for you, whether it's wrapped up with, intertwined with something continued or something brand new, again, like a work situation, maybe an employment promotion or pay raise. It could be more so in regards to, or both is what I'm hearing, promotion and pay raise, but it could be a new living situation, maybe a new car. And I feel like some Aquarians, like myself, because I have Aquarius in my North Node if you're new, are manifesting more than one of what I just mentioned. And you need to give yourself a lot of credit for having the ability to do so. And there's more co-creating taking place than feels obvious to you at this point. Now, the Hanged Man does 531. Look at the angel number meaning 531. Before we move to the Hanged Man, I'm getting kind of this vibe where you're very overly serious at certain points for one, if not multiple reasons, and it might not be your fault. But I do feel like there's other points where you're smiley and more joyful in that sense. But just because you're overly serious, doesn't mean that you're unhappy. It doesn't mean that you're not joyful. You might just be focused or just in a serious mood. Maybe tired is what I'm getting. But the way you manage things, the way you multitask even at times, prioritize, it's so effortless for you. And at times when it doesn't feel effortless, it's okay, all right? But we're learning more as we move forward, as you adjust, adapt, and see things transform. And I feel like there's a very angelic way about you at certain points that's inspiring. Now, the Hanged Man may be a push to adjust your perspective where you don't need to, all right? Whether it's from a boss figure, an authority figure, someone else that you work with. It could be somebody in regards to your business. It could be a spiritual push. But I do feel like when you do feel intuitively guided to adjust your perspective and more so hang from the tree of your Aquarian wisdom and experience, do so, all right? And don't be surprised when that comes to be and is applied, utilized in a very easy manner once again. Easygoing Aquarius in the midst of accomplishing, achieving, succeeding, victorious vibes. Okay, once again, this might be continued or reminding you of the past, but the money gaining feels quite nice, but it's all about what you do with it, right? Don't overdo it in the treating department is what I'm getting. But there's also a push to remember where your control lies and where it doesn't, all right? And they're showing me someone going like this, and therefore adapting to it and just saying, I'm not going to try and control this aspect of that job or this aspect of my business if it feels more like it's just heading in that direction, or maybe it's a spiritual part of it, or maybe it's who you're wrapped up with for that job or business, or both. But as well, maybe in regards to where you're living. But the Ace of Wands and the Three of Cups, because it feels like a new beginning, whether it was sparked recently or it's more so being acquired or sparked at this time, leaving you with connecting and celebrating. There are reasons to celebrate that you're not one with at this time, and you may gain that perspective due to a spirit, due to a positive occurrence, accomplishment, money coming in, or other levels of rewarding abundance. But I do feel like the way you connect with people will inspire, it will lighten the mood and energy, and maybe even motivate somebody, if not multiple people. And I feel like you're just getting it. You're getting it. You may find there's a focus on you learning things quite quickly, picking up things as you move along, as you put in the effort, right? The action. And this doesn't feel forced. It's like, I'm a quick learner. I'm a smart cookie is what I'm getting. But the other two we have here, the Justice card and the Knight of Pentacles, because I feel like you are gaining justice from the past, some of which was a wrongdoing or two, if not several. But I do feel like either way, there is some reflecting taking place on the justice you're receiving in the financial department, but as well when it comes to your work. And for some of which, that's a gaining of a new opportunity for work. But either way, it could be a continuing situation or two. In spirit saying, as this justice rolls on in the form of financial and work abundance, allow for yourself to recognize that your destiny is so great that you don't need to force it into what's been released, what's been removed and let go of. And that could be financial, it could be opportunity wise. It's going to come back to you tenfold, and this time period reminds you of that, and maybe even informs you of that. But I do feel like there's a focus on you taking a peaceful approach towards gaining more, towards improvement. And I feel like it's a time for you to remember that you, again, are one independent, strong soul, and you can accomplish anything you set your mind to, okay? It's a time for you where the passion feels less overwhelming than it maybe once did, or in general, or maybe in comparison to other people. But I do feel like it's a time for you to remember how much you're manifesting, to take the abundance coming in, and remember when you deserve to celebrate, and you deserve this justice, my friend. It's a time for you where you are being rewarded left and right. Absolutely beautiful. So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy the remainder of April, and we'll talk again soon.